Oh my god, this is my second time recording this. I recorded the first time and realized there was no audio. Hello, kitty. So, I want to discuss something that has come to my mind recently. Reviewers aren't making reviews for the 1%. Let me explain. If you have like $10,000 in the bank and you were to buy, say, an RTX 5090, $2,000, you know what you're getting. You already know it's an RTX 5090, and that comes with the idea of it being the best. Reviewers aren't making videos for you. You've already made up your mind. If you're buying something for that much money, there's a good chance you probably already know what you're buying. Now, I'm not shitting on the people who don't have as much money to spend on something. Say if you only have like $500 to spend on a graphics card, that's who the reviewers are reviewing for. And this doesn't just apply to graphics cards. This applies to everything. Stoves, you want a nice car, you want to know what the bang for the buck is. Doesn't matter. Someone who is buying a Lexus LFA doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks about the Lexus LFA. That is like an obscene fuck-jillion dollar hypercar, and if you're buying a Lexus LFA, you're buying it because it's a Lexus LFA. But if you're buying something like a Nissan Leaf, a much less expensive, much more affordable, much more economic option, that's who reviewers are making reviews for. That's who you should be targeting if you're making a review, because those are going to be the people who don't have as much money to spend on something, who can't afford to be ripped over or ripped off. If you're not spending the most amount of money on a product, there's a good chance you don't have the money to spend if that product goes wrong. And those are the people who are going to be the most scrutinous, because they want to do the research and they want to ensure that what they're spending is going towards a genuinely good product, or at least the best product that they can afford for that amount of money that they can spend. Maybe you're one of those buyers who's spending $5,000 on a fancy electric, convection oven, induction stove top range. Maybe you're one of those buyers, and there's a good chance if you're spending that much money, you already know what you're getting. Or you simply just don't care because you're spending that much money on something, and it's the manufacturer's problem now to make it a good product for you. And this isn't, of course, always the case. You could spend lots of money on a fancy new TV and the manufacturer treats you like shit. That's certainly possible. But there's a good chance if you're spending and you're a premium buyer of something, that's not the case. Reviewers are making things for people. Most of the time, they're making things for people who can't afford to be fucked over, who can't afford a second replacement because what they already bought was already at their limit for what they were going to spend. If money is an object and money is at a premium, that money needs to go towards something as good as possible. And if you're somebody who has unlimited amounts of money, who can afford anything they want, that doesn't matter. Let's take this into a thing that I actually have personal experience with. 2 years ago, I bought a Vario Aero. That headset, it's crazy. Had a lot of problems with it, but I knew what I was buying it for. Did I watch a single review? No. I didn't give a shit. I looked at what it had. I didn't look at anything else. And I didn't care about anything else because I was buying a Vario headset. If you don't know, Vario is a company that makes obscenely good, obscenely high-end, stupidly expensive headsets. Like, when I bought my Vario Aero, it was $2,000, and that was their cheapest option. That was their only consumer option. And when I bought it, I knew I was getting the best consumer headset at the time that money could buy. Period. There was no better. So I didn't care. If I had a problem with it, and I did have problems with it, I reached out, I bitched to the manufacturer, and they fixed it for me because I was the premium. I was the premium customer. And they took care of me because I was the premium customer. You don't tend to get that experience when you're not buying the most expensive thing. When you're not, when you're in the mid-range, you'll probably get a pretty good experience with like customer support and whatnot if something goes wrong. But if you're spending that much, you really don't want things to go wrong in the first place. You don't have a backup. You don't have a B plan, most likely. So, again, this plays into the whole reviewers don't make reviews for the 1%. If you're buying the most high-end thing, you're buying it because you already know what you want. You've already made up your mind. A review isn't going to change your mind. You're not going to be scrutinous about what you're buying, and that's fine. I do the same thing. I have a lot of very high-end things that I just bought because I knew it was going to be okay. But, wow, this is a lot more condensed than the previous version. The previous version was like 10 minutes long. But I hope, me rambling about this gave you a bit of a sense of what I'm trying to get at. To wrap it all up, reviewers aren't making reviews for the 1% because really, those aren't the type of people who need to know what they're getting. They're the type of people who aren't going to care. People who aren't spending as much are probably going to look at one person, or even better, people who don't have as much money are going to be looking at multiple reviews of a product from multiple people. Maybe there's a thing that they want to understand that one reviewer isn't going to say that another reviewer says. You see this all the time. Look at any review, and people will praise that they highlighted a part of the product that nobody else did. That's who reviewers are making reviews for. People who are going to be much more scrutinous about what they're buying. And another important side tangent, if there's a reviewer that makes a review that you don't like, don't go out and attack them for it. Maybe there is an actual inaccuracy, like a factual, verifiable inaccuracy. Then, you should express that to them. Maybe they're importing their bias into something, and that's totally fine. You can click off the video and watch a new one. And that's why most reviewers will tell you to watch multiple reviews for a product before you buy it. Anyways, that's really what I wanted to make this video about. That's all I really have to say. Look at this cat. Consider this cat. This cat is so cute and fluffy. You're such a good kitty, aren't you? Whoa, 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 boy. But either way, that's about it for this video. I am going to be seeing you in the next one. And hopefully my computer is unexploded. I currently have it in the shop right now. Or I currently have the motherboard in the service center right now. ASUS service center. Ugh. And I'm getting it fixed because it decided to explode on me because I put a new graphics card in. Either way, I'll be seeing you in the next video, hopefully in VR, and keep living it. See ya.